I'm growing mint. It's been a while since I've grown something, and mint is so useful. In this episode, I discover a lovely courtyard cafe garden. I learn about an old iconic tree, drink some delicious local juice, and take a walk through a local rainforest. But first things first, it's time for some brunch. The captain and I stumbled upon this cafe set in a courtyard with shops all around. I quickly noticed the garden with its tall palms and lush planting underneath. From upstairs I could look down and see the attractive metal frame holding a variety of hanging pot plants. The palms in these raised beds provide shade and give structure in this courtyard garden. Up close to the pot plants, I could see what was what. I'm seeing familiar tropical plants popping up again and again. Succulents, the crown of thorns, cactus, ferns, draconia, mother-in-law's tongue. So many plants growing in pots that do really well here in the climate of Fiji. This structure here is really great for privacy for the cafe as well. I spotted this healthy milk bush, so green and striking in appearance. This umbrella bamboo is lush and bright, and I understand it is a slow grower. I love its volume, size, and shape. Here in Suva, I've seen lots of draconia in pots. This one is pretty, with its variegated lemony green leaves. Moses in the cradle here is stunning. It looks like each leaf has been painted carefully to blend the purple and green softly together. After finishing my delicious brunch, my next stop was the Public Carnegie Library. This library was built in 1909 with funds donated by Andrew Carnegie, who was a philanthropist. I wanted to see if there was any historical information on plantings around Suva. There were books on plants, and I discovered this book about postcards that had been collected in Fiji over many years. I read about the ivy tree that had been planted on a corner intersection in the city. It is also known as the Tahitian chestnut, and it was quite the icon and featured on postcards. I decided to go down the street and find this iconic tree at the combined junction of Thompson Street, Renwick Road, and Victoria Parade, and I found it. It is so much smaller than it was. It is reinforced in the main trunk and has supports around it, protecting and keeping it in place. The ancient tree continues to hold on and is a reminder of past times. What an interesting piece of history. Now I was ready for a cool drink. I had been wanting to try the kumquat juice, and today was the day. The Ginger Cafe at the Thurston Gardens made me a refreshing cold juice. I could hear loud squeaky noises coming from the nearby trees, and I thought it was birds, but looked up and saw loads of bats. They make quite a racket. The outlook from the cafe over the Thurston Gardens was peaceful and restful after the busyness of the city. You might remember I visited these gardens in my last episode, and today I'm back. I have been noticing this plant with its long slender leaves and delicate paper-looking purple flowers. and I believe it's called the Mexican petunia, and its flowers only last a day. I had been wanting to visit the local rainforest and waterfalls here in Suva. We took a taxi out of the city to Thole i Suva, the rainforest park. In the car park was this elaborate sign leaving you in no doubt as to where you were. After being given strict instructions to stay on the path, the captain, myself, and the cabin boy, our new crew member, my son, set off to discover the jungle of Suva. I spotted this bright green feathery fern. Its texture and colour caught my attention. Interesting plant shapes, leaves, trunks, colours and sizes were all around as we made our way along the path. Now this plant seemed to be appearing everywhere, and I believe it is the velvet tree, which makes sense because its leaves look slightly furry and thick. The paths through this rainforest led us to several swimming holes and waterfalls, and people were swimming and keeping cool and having a lovely time. The captain, the cabin boy, and myself actually had a dip as well. Then it was back to the marina and back to our boat. What a beautiful day we're having here in Suva. Work continues to progress on our boat, and right now it's the deck that's being fixed up and sorted out. Well, Suva continues to be our space at the moment, and it looks like we might be here for a little bit longer. So the next episode of The Sailing Gardener might be here in Suva as well. Well, that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Tune in for episode 12 next time. I wonder where I'll be. Bye.